Is Justin in Discord yet?
On a absolute beautiful day here.
It's around 8. Got 3 weeks. Get done here. Let's start today, making sure we do what we gotta do. All right, buddy. Have a good night out there. Keep it tight down these corners. You'll be fine.
Green flag is in the air. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
But man, Toaster is putting up quite the battle out here.
Still down there. Gonna do you like that. You remember it's still down there.
And you can just see how well
All clear up.
Toaster gets up into Jose just a little bit. They hang on to it, J-Mac. These guys are very, very strong tonight.
Right there, and then when I was looking back earlier, I was trying to figure out if
Gotta be clean.
Doha gets wrecked. That is going to make him lose the lead, I do believe, as this is the final lap. Jose is your new leader here.
Everybody work both lanes here. They're pulling the air real hard here.
We have the 34 going in the middle. We have the 41 on the low side.
Take advantage of this as quickly as possible.
Got no one with him at the moment.
I can't hear J-Mac.
Absolutely incredible. Dohar's got a nose out. He's got some draft help. Garbage takes the stage win. Dohar in second. You can see Sterlu right now coming up on.
Voices on here, so even if you do talk, it doesn't go through on the stream.
Yay!
Sterlu, I would have just saw my life flash before my eyes. That was extremely close as we had a car headed into pit road. We have contact. Rocky Top barely misses.
Big wreck in your mirror.
There is a wreck in the back. That might bring out the caution.
One's coming to your bumpers.
oh wow, that is no, that's 4 wide now.
That was 4 wide.
This is just insane. This finish. Trying to push up in between the 14. They're 4 wide per second. They're wrecking. They're about to wipe out.
Oh, look at this. We have Dohar. These guys are almost 5 wide. We have the Bolt hanging on to it.
Still there. Stay with it. Wreck him if you have to.
Oh, huge, huge pile up. We have, man, cars just spinning. We have the 24 Jose. He is involved. Everyone has completely lost their minds as I'm hearing over the radio.
The only way we're going to make any progress here is if we work together. Nobody's wanting to work together.
Incredible right there. Your braking point or your let-off point. You're going to have what's happened here in Dohar. Oh. Huge, huge accident.
Well, that should do it. It's jump. I'm shattering the rears everywhere, all the way around the corner. Jimmy, green white checker finish here. Give those belts a tug. You're ready to go.
We're going to see if he crosses the line out here in one piece.
Checkered flag in the air.
Yeah! Hey, you get a plus. Hell yeah, boys! Man, you did a heck of a job in there. I couldn't be more proud of what you did this weekend. Yeah, good job all night, man.
You never know what you're going to get here. This shows it once again. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 5 of AKA's winter season here at Talladega Superspeedway. It's guaranteed to be a heck of a show. If you missed last week, it was a great race for a great cause that included special guest Michael Levine, Dano, and Red, who came in as well. We helped him try to raise more money for the local Children's Miracle Network hospitals, which the donations go directly towards treating sick and injured children. You can donate, and we'll talk about it, but if you want to donate, you can donate at extra-life.org/team/roundabout. It was a fun race, guys, but before we get to all that, we have to get to the driver spotlight tonight, and it's going to be a big one. We have 3 awesome people in here, so let's give a warm welcome to our driver spotlights, aka Pro Boss, who pilots the 00, Freddie, who is in that 71 car, and Delta Rocket, who pilots the 99. Welcome to the booth, gentlemen. How are ya?
We're good, thank you.
Thank
for having us.
I'm excited to have you guys in here. Yeah, it's been a heck of a season so far. Very action-packed and a lot of things going on. So that actually brings me to my first question. How long have you guys been racing, and what ignites a love for it? We're going to go ahead and start with Pro Boss for this.
Well, I've been sim racing here since NASCAR '09. You know, and it's just something that I grown to love, and I love the camaraderie and the competition. The guys, I mean, it's my bar. I don't go out and go to the bar every night. I stay at home. You know, I have two kids and a wife, and a couple businesses that I run, and I try to you know, be home for them, and this fit perfectly into that lifestyle, and been doing it ever since.
I hear you. That's really cool, Pro Boss. All right, Freddie, how about you? How long have you been racing, and what ignites your love for it?
Well, let me tell you something, sister. I've been racing since '09.
You are such a character, I swear.
I've been racing since '09, sister. You know, I'm a little Fred of Maniacs out there. You know, I've been trying to be the best on the track. That's my MO. That's my MO, sister.
Nice. All right, Delta, how about you?
I've been racing. I've been playing about a year and 8 months. I used to play back in '99 when it all came out, and then I started doing the family thing. And then NASCAR Heat 2, my kids introduced me to it, and I started racing, and I fell in love with it again.
That's awesome. So you were away for a bit, but came back. Love it.
Yeah, like I said, I never played online until NASCAR Heat 2. My kids kind of turned me on. I said, Dad, you can race other people. I was like, nah, I don't want to deal with other people. And I got on, I started meeting people, and that was it. I'm still here racing.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, next question. Being a super speedway, is Talladega less stressful than other tracks or more so? And we're going to start with you, Delta.
I think it's more stressful, only because, like, you know, the super speedways get my blood pumping. I like the super speedways, and you know, especially with this game, you know, when you're riding the yellow line, you just got to stay on that line, because if you go up a little bit, they'll get right under you, and you know, all of a sudden you get pissed off, and then you got to go in the back. And so I think it's pretty much more stressful than the other tracks.
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, everything is so tight quarters, and if one person messes up, it can mess up the entire field. So it can be very stressful, and you're at such fast speed, so it can get bunched up pretty quick. All right, Freddie, what about you?
Yeah, this track, like I said, it gets my blood pumping.
It's so true. All right, Freddie, what about you? Is it less stressful or more so? Wait, lost to
I would
Freddie.
say a little stressful. My bad. I have my mic muted. I'll say a little stressful, but you know, it is what it is. I don't know.
Some guys, I mean, they just live for super speedway, so that to them it's just like, you know, it's just another day. I do it all the time, so yeah. I'm interested to see what Pro Boss has to say. What about you? Is this harder for you or easier?
I circle this date on my calendar. I love super speedway racing.
I figured you would.
I love the momentum. Yeah, the momentum you need to have, the group you need to have. I mean, it's a skill set, to be quite frank. It really is, and a lot of the older side of the community tend to enjoy it more for whatever reason. The closer racing, whatnot. But yeah, I love super speedways, hands down, my favorite.
Awesome. All right, we're going to start with you, Pro Boss. What is something we don't know about you?
Something you don't know about me? Well, I'm quite a good little artist.
Really?
Actually, what I do, yeah, you know, I have my fishing thing. It's great. Sometimes, but I remodel kitchen cabinets. Out here, they also have garage doors and stuff that need to be faux wood, you know, wood grained, and there's marbleizing involved, and these are all skills I picked up in the motion picture industry years ago. So I can make a steel door look like oak, and
that's awesome.
It turns out pretty good, and that's an art form, and yeah, it's a thing.
That is a thing. I need to have you come to my house and do all my kitchen cabinets, because I don't want to do them.
There you go. Yeah, we spray lacquer. We spray the good stuff. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, Freddie, how about you? What's something we don't know about you?
Well, I did save some money by switching my insurance to Geico.
Really? That's something. All right. Is that your final answer, Freddie?
Yeah.
All right, Delta, what about you? What is something we don't know about you?
I coached Pop Warner football for 10 years and coached wrestling,
Oh, cool.
middle school for
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Do you still do it?
No, I gave it up. It's just too much. And I was coaching my kids, and they're a little older now, so I don't want to continue coaching them because it doesn't work
Right.
out. You know,
Yeah.
it ends up being personal, and I don't want to burn them out from playing sports. So I
Right.
backed off.
That's pretty cool, though. All right, Delta, if you could have lunch with any NASCAR driver at all, which driver would you choose?
Is that a past or present question? Because there was only one guy I ever wanted to have lunch with, and that was Dale Earnhardt Sr.
That answer
We
works.
all know that can't happen.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that'd be so
other
cool,
than that,
though.
would probably be, other than that, it'd probably be Kevin Harvick, because he stepped into his seat, and
Yeah.
I didn't like him at first, but throughout the years, I started liking him.
He
Plus,
grew
my
on you.
lucky number was always number 4, and then he started
Nice.
driving a number 4. So,
Very cool. All right, Freddie, how about you? Which driver would you choose?
I don't know. Was Big Bill a driver?
Big Bill?
Back in
France?
his day? Yeah,
Bill
Bill
France?
France, yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
probably way before you would have thought.
I
I
don't
would say,
think so.
I don't know if you. If
I think
you
he was just a
classify
business
it as
end.
a driver, but I would want to have. I would say Tony Stewart.
Oh, man, you and him, to see you two in a room together, that'd be something. All right, Pro Boss, who would you have lunch with?
Ooh, well, I thought about this, and you know what most interested in, what would be cool to see is get actually like Natalie Decker and Haley Deegan in the same room and kind of check out what that dynamic's going to be like, if they're going to be kind of catty, if they're going to actually get along. I'd be real interested in that, so that's who I'd like to have lunch with.
That would be kind of crazy.
Hold on, how you get a double date though?
Hey, man, she asked the question. It's my answer.
We'll let that one go. We'll let it go. All right, Pro Boss. Which race this season do you feel is your biggest chance at a win?
I think deep down, I think I can win them all. Gosh, I don't know. I go out believing I can win any one of them. There's not one that I go, I think that was my chance.
Yeah.
Although I've had a couple of those already this year that I've blown, but I don't have a real accurate answer for you there.
Well, let's hope we get you in the
I'd
winner's
like to
booth
win
here.
a
Yeah,
couple. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, you and I both. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I do want
Thank
to
you.
pause right here. I know that you are the man when it comes to starting all these lobbies, and I know you have to go to qualifying. So if you have to go, your interview is over. But I'll leave that up to you
Thank
if you
you.
want to hang around. But if not, thank you
Yep, no,
so
I'm gonna
much
go
for
get
coming in
things
the
started.
booth. Yeah. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you very
in here.
much for having me, and we'll be talking to you at the end of this race because I'm going to be on the podium. We'll see you in a bit.
All right. See you, Pro Boss. All right. We got to go to Freddie. Which race do you feel is your biggest chance at a win?
I would say Miami.
Ah, nice. All right. How about you, Delta?
Probably a super speedway. I'm still
Yeah.
a work in progress with the other tracks. I pretty much got the super speedways down. So
You do.
I would say
Absolutely.
either Talladega or Daytona.
Very nice. Well, hopefully we'll see you back in here after the race tonight. But I have one more question, and this question is for Freddie. I promised someone that I would ask this. I don't know I don't know what it has to do with, but a little birdie told me to ask you, when was the last time you seen him alive? Do you know who this is from? Any guess?
It's a few people.
It was garbage. It was garbage. So you can blame that one on him. All right. Well, that's all we had for you guys. Thank you so much for joining in the booth tonight. It was a lot of fun. I wish you guys a ton of luck tonight. So go out there and kick some butt.
Thank you.
Thank
you for having us too.
Absolutely.
Hashtag Butt Week Racing, baby. We coming to victory lane tonight.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, hopefully we can make it back.
Let's hope. Let's hope. All right, guys. We have.
Catch you later. All right,
all
bye-bye.
right. See ya. We have J Mac in the booth as always. How you doing tonight, J Mac?
I'm doing just wonderful, Frozen.
Awesome. I got to talk about last week. We had Michael Levine in the booth, and we had the guys visiting in the stream. We're going to talk about it a couple of times tonight because I would love to get more donations, guys. They almost hit their goal of 5,000. We're just a little short. So if you can, if it is possible, even if it's $5 or $2, anything makes a difference. But the link is extra-life.org/team/roundabout. And it is great. It helps all the kids who are sick or, injured or anything else like that. Kids who may not be able to afford, their parents may not be able to afford for payment. So this helps. It all goes towards the hospitals and make sure those kids, they get the help that they need. So if you can, go ahead and donate. I'm going to put the link in chat. If you can't, I appreciate you guys just coming out and enjoying the race. I want to give a quick shout out to Rock and to all these guys that are out here today. You guys are awesome. Let's see if we can get this. I keep getting messages popping up. All right, here we go. So there's a link if you want to donate. That would be amazing. I got to talk about tonight, though. It is Talladega, and it is going to be crazy. These guys can get 12 laps on a fuel run. We have 27 for stage 1. We have 25 laps for stage 2, and the final is 43. So we've talked about it, J-Mac. I mean, how do you feel about super speedways for you? Is it something that you look forward to or not so much?
If it's going to be aggressive and fun and everyone's going to be trying to race really hard, then I very much look forward to it. But I don't really enjoy the single file portions of these races so much, where everyone kind of gets in a single file line and then your brain is just racked trying to keep it off the person in front of you, and you start doing math in your head as fuel mileage comes into play, and you start to work in your head how you can figure out how to get that extra lap, and if that extra lap means anything, and when you need to pit with other people. So I enjoy plate racing. I enjoy working with people. I enjoy making passes and making moves. The riding around part, which is very much a part of it, I don't enjoy as much, just because it can be a lot of mental work.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree, because I actually love super speedway racing. Most know that about me, but it's a challenge because you have to be on it at all times. You have to make sure the guy in front of you is not wiggly. If he is, you got to hang off of him. But then you got so many guys behind you that want your position, that are all over you, trying to keep it steady also. If you mess up, you're messing up everyone behind you, and you're going to have a field of unhappy people. So it can be very stressful, but it is so much fun. It tests you with your patience. It tests you with your car and how fast it is. And it tests you with how steady you can be and how you are under pressure, because it is a lot of pressure. So it's crazy. It's a lot of fun, though. Fair Fawcett, what's up? I'm glad to have you. It'll be awesome tonight. These guys are going into qualifying, so they should be out shortly, but we have like 31 drivers out there tonight. It's craziness. I do want to get a look here at points. We have Moordog, who is currently sitting in first. We have Element in second. Some of these points are pretty close. We've had 4 total different winners so far, and we're on race 5, so we're going to see if we can get a whole new winner in here tonight. But Moordog won the first race at Auto Club. Garbage, he won it at Kansas. Kerr, he won it at Iowa, and last week we saw, actually, so yeah, Garbage won 2 races so far. He won Chicago, so that's 2 for him. But it's going to be pretty crazy. I have a feeling that we might see a new winner for tonight. It's always like that, J-Mac. I feel like we get a very different winner for super speedways.
it obviously lends itself the way this racing is. Everybody, even with a slightly inferior setup, that draft puts everybody on an even playing field. It equalizes everything. But if when we get around to picks, I don't think we're going to have a new winner. I have someone in mind that I think is going to win this race, but it definitely is a possibility. There's so many people that can win this race. It just matters about track position and also a little bit of luck.
That's true. And I'm going to make you spill the beans. Who do you have on your radar?
I like that winner of that very first race at Auto Club. I like that 5-car of Mordog.
I mean, that's a very good pick. He most definitely could win. There's just so many cars out there. So I personally, I'm going to see how the race goes to make a pick. But I mean, we've even seen it where someone leads the entire race and something happens in the final stage and they don't win. We've seen it so many times. And at Talladega, anything is possible. I mean, I spoke to Freddie and Delta before the race and they were saying the same thing. You know, it's just about survival. Keeping your nose clean because damage is on and they have 3 times wear. So, I mean, their tires are wearing more heavily than at other races. And you have Delta who is concerned about his right front wearing. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him tonight. He's got some tire wear issues. They can go around 12 laps, but we're going to see what he can do. Let me know who you guys think is going to win tonight. We have so many drivers out there. So if you have a favorite driver, let me know who it is. We're going to see if we can't get an eye on how qualifying is going, but you know it's going to be all about draft and not qualifying. It's going to be super close, J-Mac. And I got to ask you about last week, too. What was your favorite moment of last week having Michael on, Dano, and Red?
Oh dear. Let's see. Well, just having him here was really fun. Having actual knowledgeable racing people in the booth to kind of bounce how things are in the real world and equate that to what we're seeing in the game. That was really, really cool to have those 3 up here.
Absolutely.
But the most infamous moment was my near-death experience, but we don't have to talk about that.
Honestly, I mean, having them on the show was fantastic, and also trying to help them get money for the charity for Extra Life and, you know, help kids out. Another thing I gotta tell you though, J-Mac, you having your little thing with the cough drop was pretty funny though.
Oh.
One of these days I'm going to clip it and I'm going to put it out there, but for now, you're safe.
If we can get some more donations out there, then I will put my life on the line and recreate that moment tonight.
We have a new one out there. We have Our Hearts. I know who you are. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. But yeah, we have a front row. We have Mordog out there, and from what I understood, Little Wing. So we have some fast guys out there tonight. We should be getting ready to go to race pretty soon here at Talladega Superspeedway. We have D. Bailey out in the chat. Thank you so much for joining. Guys, pull up a chair and enjoy the race because it's coming on shortly. All right, J-Mac, we talk about it every single week. How do you see stage 1 going? Are we going to see a lot of passing, or are these guys going to go single file?
I imagine these guys are going to try to work, especially at the front of the field. The front half of the field, I think a lot of people are just going to be pretty content to ride and to make laps here. But I feel like in the back, the aggression could get up as people try to hold on to the line. It can be really cutthroat when the field gets into a single file line at the back, as everyone's trying to get to maximize their track position while also hang on to that back of the line. And it can create situations where you end up losing the draft because you're racing so hard. So that's one thing to look out for. I think this first stage might be everyone just kind of feeling things out. And then once we start getting to pit stops, that first pit stop is going to be really, really, really tough to get through because everyone should still be really tight together. But once we get through that first pit cycle and everyone gets a little more spread out and we get some more defined groups, that's when I think the racing is going to get real good.
I can't agree with you more, J-Mac. You said it right there. I do want to talk about Extra Life one more time before we get started. If you guys can donate, please do. Any little bit of amount helps. We had Michael Levine on the in the booth last week with Red and Dano. Such a blast. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It is so much fun. It is out on twitch.tv/FrozenToes24. I think the second stream in. But we're going to go ahead and go live here to the track at Talladega Superspeedway. These guys are getting ready. But man, it's going to be crazy. Extra Life, if you can donate, it goes straight to the kids. The hospitals can help them with anything that they need. So very, very cool. And I really want to help them get to 5,000. All right, here we go. Talladega Superspeedway, the Geico 500 at Talladega. You see the cars lined up, ready to go. It's going to be crazy. I was practicing with these guys earlier, and I almost won one of the races. Blue Baca ended up winning, so he is another one to look out for tonight. Anything is possible. But here we go. You have Moordog. He is on pole. You can see him. We have the 21 of Little Wing. He is on the outside, and we are off going green. These guys looking pretty good so far, J-Mac. Do you need an invite, or are you in here?
I am currently loading in, but I shall be here shortly. Hey, there we are.
There we are. We have the 42. I don't know if you caught that. I don't think you're in yet, but man, he got up into that high line just a little bit. That was a little sketchy right there, but he brought it back down. They all look okay so far. But man, quite a line out there. That high side already fallen back a little bit, but I guarantee if they can hold that out, they can make that thing work for him. But we have the 9 car directly behind Moordog. That is String, and he is looking pretty good out there also.
Yeah, that 5 car out there leading. It's reminiscent of the old Mike Skinner Lowe's Chevy for RCR back in the day, but he's leading that field in that custom 5 car with the 9 behind him, the 42, the 19, and right now the outside line is struggling as they're falling back, trying to find a friend to let them in or to force a hole to force their way into. But everybody, kind of like we said this race would start out. Everybody's kind of getting into a line, working their way up, and maybe seeing what kind of strategy they can pull here at the back of this line.
And I'm on board with Little Wing. He started in second. He was on the outside row. He was the leader. And look how much he fell back. That is just how it is with the high side. We already have another line moving up here. We have the 9 leading that with String. Oh, we have a car on the apron. That is the 42 of MDL. Let's see if he can save that. But man, oh man, he is bringing it back on. But he lost so many positions from that. It's just so quick with how that can happen, guys.
Yeah, it looked like he just tried to stick his nose underneath that 5, and Moordog had got stuck on the apron through that dog leg on the front stretch, and it just was a lazy spin that he just couldn't get out of, and then it took off on him finally.
We're on board with String right now. He is on the low side directly behind the 19. Looking pretty good. That is TAC 24 ahead of him. Moordog is still leading this thing, and you can just see what a steady line he is holding. You really have to be able to hold it. TAC, he got a little loose right there. Couldn't hold it, but we have String on the outside trying to make a move for the lead here. 3 wide coming up. They close it down to 2, but man, oh man, for a second, J-Mac, I thought they were going to bring that thing 3 wide.
Yeah, and Moordog is a very aggressive side drafter. He's a man of he's a very calm demeanor type of person, but once he gets on these racetracks, he can be incredibly aggressive. And he moved up to side draft alongside the 9 and then was able to pull back down. I think that combined with the lesser numbers up in that top line were able to help keep that bottom line with the advantage. And right now it looks like the back line that top line is going to fall back and lose out on that move.
Yeah, they sure did. It is so hard to go out there. I know a lot of guys want it to go 2 wide. We saw 3 for a few moments there, but it is so hard to get it to go 2 wide, have capable guys that can really hold it. You have to have a lot of guys out there to be able to really make it work, and they just did not have the numbers. So they all had to get back down, and you just have to gain the momentum and try to work on it again. You have to hang back a little bit and get that draft and make your move from that. look how long this line is, J-Mac. I mean, they are so far back here. Single file, and then in the back it gets too wide. It is going to be so close, but if you have the numbers, you really, really need more numbers on the top than on the bottom to make it work. I mean, you're driving more tracks, so it only makes sense that you have to have more speed, and to do that, you just need the bodies out there.
You can get a pretty good run on that top line out in comparison. If you're riding right alongside that front low row, you can see it. That bottom line, you can see it really well. You can just get a really good jump running that top line. You can keep your speed up a little better. You're not scrubbing off as much speed, but down the straightaways, you get killed back once you get back to the turn, and it's just a lot more of an advantage to be on that bottom line.
Absolutely, and I think, you know, so far we've already seen more movement for me than what I expected. I expected very single file line for most of stage 1, but these guys are really trying to gain positions on them. You see the second row, they're not going anywhere, so they're going to have to dive back down, try to get that draft, work on that, and go back out. Element loses a spot trying to get there, but you see String, he was way up in the front. He went to the high side. Now look how much he fell back. He's in that 9 car, that Mountain Dew. So it's so fast with how you can fall back on here. For me right now, unless it's towards the end of stage 1 or for a pit stop, I'm staying on the low side as we hit 20 to go. You know, it's great to gain all the positions if you can, but you got to make sure that you have communication with the other drivers to make sure that they're all going to go with you.
Yeah, you can feel like you're Superman whenever everyone starts accordioning up. As everyone gets into the corners, everything starts to accordion up, and everyone's trying to stay off the person in front of them with a 8 car line, however long this is. You can't really do a whole lot pushing the person in front of you whenever you're running 20th. So you try to stay off those guys, but everyone slows down in front of you. You think you've got it made. You can jump up. You get about 5 or 6 positions, and then there's not a hole to get down, and you fall all the way back to the tail. So
it's so true.
That's what happens. But they're trying to get this high line formed, and they're not running that second line like we usually see. They're trying to run right up against the wall up there. They're trying to run that I hate to say it, but that real life high line that they'll sometimes run is they get right up against the wall and work their way there. And I don't know if I would be running up that high. I think running maybe down the lane or lower might help them out. They could still get that run off the corner in comparison to that bottom line, and they'd be running a shorter distance, obviously, but they're trying to work it. They're trying to make it work. They're trying to figure it out and see what it can do. But Big John here, he was in that line, and he had an idea to pull up in front of this top lane and thought better of it, but he was able to make a bunch of positions up by getting out of that line and dropping down to the bottom and drafting up.
Yeah, you know, super speedway, it's all about luck. As these guys are spreading out. We have a guy into the wall. Garbage goes into the wall. That might bring out a caution. I mean, we're just adding cars left and right as we are 3 wide right here. And yeah, that's going to bring out the caution.
Yeah, who knows what happened there, if that was lag, or there could be a weird stack up coming off the corners. Everyone's trying to kind of get a run up. You're trying to get as good of an exit out of there as possible, and you can kind of run up on the person in front of you and you try to let up. Don't really know how it happens, but that's actually a great place to make a run on somebody, is to pop up right as you get out of that corner, the exact moment, and you can have a lot of speed in comparison to everyone in front of you. Don't know if there's a lag issue or if everyone just kind of ran together there and then it sent everyone flying, but obviously a very big wreck there that a lot of people had no choice but to get involved in.
Yeah, we're going to find out. I'm curious if everyone is going to take a pit stop. We had a little less than 20 to go, so we'll find out what happened here. But we have the 99 of Delta Rocket. He is on the front row. Let's take a look at him. We see him ahead of Little Wing in that 21. A couple of new guys out here. We have the 2 on the outside. That is Ramsit with the 41 directly behind him of Doc 88. Everyone except Delta pit, so he is on older tires, a lot less fuel. He's going to have to go in before everyone. It's going to be super close for him.
I imagine a lot of these drivers that pit are going to be able to make it to the end of the stage. It's going to take a lot of fuel saving. I don't know if this is going to be a very fast pace we're going to run here to the end of the stage, but I think these drivers can make it. I think the 21, the 9 made a run, the 21 slowed down and checked up the 5 to let the 9 car in. So these 3 up in front, we saw the 21 let the 41 in. So these 3 in second, third, and fourth working together right now.
So close, and I'm curious if he is holding them up just a little bit since he didn't go into pit. We'll try to get up there with him at the moment, but it's going to be very, very close. I think some of these guys are going to want to try to get out as they have the fresh tires, and it does make a difference. So we're going to see what they can do.
Absolutely, and really speed isn't so much the issue here. It's that a lot of these guys are running a little more aggressive cambers, some of them do, and you can blow that right front. Everyone tries to tighten up that car so it's really stable. It doesn't jerk around on you. That can sometimes make it hard to make moves, but a lot of these guys like to run and rip that yellow line and make up speed that way, and they try to make their car as comfortable as possible. That can hurt the right front, and a lot of these guys can almost blowing their tires before they even make a fuel run.
You know, and you say that, and Delta was the one I was talking about that was so concerned about his tire wear. He's like, I'm really going to have to watch it. My right front really struggles out there, and I need to figure something out. But here he is. He didn't pit, and I'm really surprised with that. I don't know if that was a strategy call on his part or whether that he just missed pit road. And we're going to find out. But so far, he's holding it okay. I don't see him wanting to come in just yet. We're going to find out. But I do have to give a shout out to Crisco Kid. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Weevil, what's up? It is 94 laps, so it is a long race for these guys. We have 27 laps for stage 1, 25 for stage 2, and 43 in the final.
Yeah, these drivers are giving a lot of room here on the bottom line. I think there is some fuel saving going on. That outside line trying to take advantage of that and make some moves up to the front, but so far not able to make much hay. But it looks like that car, now they're starting to get rolling a bit. That outside line trying to get to the front, trying to get some track position here, as this bottom line seems content to run and to try to make the rest of the stage without having to hit pit road.
We have Delta coming in to pit road. He's going to take his first stop of the night. He's the only taker for that since he is the only one who did not pit. But man, fantastic entry onto pit road for him as he was breaking away from the traffic, not to upset the line any. But man, we have a wreck going on in the back.
Oh, we have a wreck in the back.
Several cars. It's going to bring out caution number 2 of the night.
That will take fuel out of the equation. We had just seen the 41. He took the lead when Delta went to hit pit road. He immediately hopped out of line. The 47 of Big John gave him a little bit of room to get in there. He popped back into line, but he did not want to be the leader. He didn't want to be in that position that burns the most fuel. So that would have been a very interesting finish had this gone green, but alas it didn't, and everyone should be fine. Now it's a race to the stage.
It is a race to the stage, and from what I'm hearing, there is a little bit of lag going on, and that is why these cautions are coming out, and I feel like J-Mac is going to be pretty laggy by the time stage 3 comes. I hope not. Knock on wood, but yeah, it definitely happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just how it is at super speedways, unfortunately. We're coming back, and we have the 5 of Mordog back on the lead here. We have the 38 of Element. He is on the outside. Made up some nice positions there, but these guys are going side by side. Element trying to hug that bottom line, trying to get something moving here. The high side, J-Mac, you really do have to hug the bottom line. It really does work to get that draft, but you really have to watch out because as we saw, there's a car that was trying to hug them and the bottom line, a little wiggly, so we had some contact there. We have 8 to go, guys.
And we heard from the producer earlier on that some of these guys in the back of the field are hitting upwards of 230 miles an hour in the back. So there is a lot of speed back there that none of these guys can do anything with. that really helps the fuel mileage the way you can go that fast, and you're doing a lot of it off throttle. But here we go, trying to make some moves. Big John popped out, Garbage faked with him, then popped him outside, and now John about to fall back.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a couple of names from tonight on the leaderboards. I mean, these guys are just absolutely flying out there. Crazy. And from what I'm hearing in qualifying, they already wiped it, but I saw some of their times. They are just absolutely flying out there. We have String. He's another one. We saw him out front at the start of the race. Look at this. This is what he is looking at right now. He's got the 10 of Expert Toaster directly in front of him. That is a long line, and it can be overwhelming. And when you have someone like the 71 who just jumped right in front of him, that is Freddie out there. He's going to make these guys very nervous making moves like that, but they managed to hold out okay.
Long line, everybody. Ooh, there was a little bit of a lag kick. I don't know if that's from the 5 or from the car behind him. I believe that's the 8 of Tom Tom. But yeah, this is everybody's kind of positioning themselves to make a run here by getting into a straight line. And I say in every plate race, I'm not a big fan of waiting until the very last lap
you're not.
at all because you know, it gives you less time. It gives you less time to do something. It gives you less of a chance. The 8, I believe, was able to push the 5 Mordog out of the way, or maybe Mordog going to the back because of lag. Maybe he's having an issue, but he did just throw a bit of a block on the 47, and then the 41 let him in the line. So maybe just got rooted up a little bit out of the way by that 8 car.
From what I'm understanding, he might have had his issue with his controller.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Look
at that, a little bit of movement out front here.
He got real aggressive. Pro Boss came up about a full car width off of the line, and Mordog filled that hole, and Boss came back down and pushed him back down below the line. A very aggressive move that probably didn't need to be made, but it was there. And as the laps are winding down, that's what these drivers are trying to go for, is every hole they can get. But to go back to that 5 car, we have talked a lot about Mordog's controller issues. He is actually moving to a wheel. He is in the process of learning the wheel and trying to get better with it. So I'm really surprised that for this race, he is not on a wheel.
You and me both. I mean, it does take a little bit to get used to. Maybe he's still trying to get the controls down. It can take a little bit of a process to do. But yeah, that could have been the issue. Or maybe he is on his wheel tonight, but they're assuming that is what his issue was right there. But it doesn't look like that was a move that he wanted to make. We're coming up to 3 to go. We have Delta in second. We have Tom Tom in first. We're on board with Wow, That's Garbage, and he is super fast. Another one, a Pro League driver out there for Season 1 of eNASCAR Heat. So he did a great job out there, but you're going to see a couple of names out there, including Mordog as a Pro League driver.
Yeah, these drivers starting to get right up on top of each other. You can really tell the 00 once again got a little wide, went up the hill. The 5 filled that hole again. The 00 this time saw it coming or just wasn't able to get back down. That pushed Pro Boss out of line and the 5 up a position. Same thing just happened to Wow, That's Garbage. He moved up. Not sure he was even trying to make a... Oh!
A lot
Mordog
of
is
movement
staying
here.
right on that yellow line.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys, when they wash up, he is filling that hole. I mean, he is not content to ride. He's trying to, he's letting off whenever they start chopping him. But if they give him that line, he is going to take it.
Absolutely. We only have a couple laps left here. It's getting very, very close. But Rock NASCAR says they have reset the all-time leaderboard in the 44.9s and 45.013. Pretty crazy. So Ranger, you saw it right there. They do have a lot of quick laps though. We're on the white flag once we hit the line, so Tom Tom, if he can hold on to it, he's got a lot of hungry people out there that want these stage points. Stage points are everything. Delta, he is in second here. We've seen him in the winner's booth a couple of times for the top 3. We're going to see if we can get him in here once again tonight. He was in the booth for the driver interview. But Tom, he is another man on the move. This guy seems like he has really gained a lot of speed throughout the season here. So, will anyone make a move, J-Mac? They got to do it now.
Yeah, it's a little late somebody's going to try to gin something up here and make the run, but I think this is a little bit late, especially if you're in 5th, 6th on back. I think everyone look content to ride Mordog. He's moving to the outside. He's getting absolutely no help.
No.
The 41. Oh, the 38 underneath the yellow line.
Look at that finish.
No, that's
that
not
was
38,
crazy. You have Tom taking that. You have the 99 of Delta in second. I'm not quite sure who took third there. Let's see if we can find out, but that was very, very close. Looks like it might be Wonder who took third.
Yeah, Wonder with a move that I'm not 100% sure would be legal in a real race there. It kind of popped his way underneath the yellow line and rooted him up on the apron as Mordog and I believe the 41 of Doc were 3 wide there. So a very interesting finish to that race for 3rd position, but 1st and 2nd, they were content to ride with each other.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing over the radio, it was Ramsett in that 2 car that took 3rd. All right, we are back for stage 2 here. Let's take a look. We have Mordog out there. He is not leading coming off. We're going to see who is leading here, and that is going to be the 99 of Delta Rocket. This guy is really on it when it comes to super speedways. He's comfortable here. He races it the most, and so it's showing right here. He's going to have another good run. We'll see what happens here, but these guys are holding it pretty steady. The high side looks a little shaky, but they're holding on to it so far.
Yeah, everybody's looking a little wobbly. That should work its way out here, hopefully, in a couple of laps. But once again, that bottom line prevailing as that top side, just struggling to keep up here on these restarts. Everybody trying to find a hole. Everybody trying to find a friend who will let them in a hole. Tough sledding when you start on that outside line.
Absolutely. You guys said that the audio keeps cutting out. Let me know. Is anyone else hearing the audio? And is it my voice, J-Max, or is it the game? Because I've been having a lot of glitchy game audio things going on. I haven't heard it on my end, but let me know. Delta has this whole line. He is leading this whole thing, and that is a long line. You got to really hold that steady, and you see a lot of wigglers out there. The draft, when you're behind someone, it pulls you up so hard to the right, just from being in the draft. You really have to have a ton of control to make sure that you don't do that, and it can get pretty tricky, guys. It's not as easy as it looks, I can tell you that. Ranger, you said it's all good on your end?
Ooh,
all right,
there's
chaotic.
a wreck in the back.
Oh, we have MDL involved. He manages to save it, but a lot of cars besides that. We have 3 or 4 cars besides him. That might bring out the caution.
That's garbage involved. That's garbage was involved. The 88 car.
It is still green. I mean, we're still moving. Delta's in the lead. We have Ramsett in the 2. He is in second. We have 41 of Doc, who's currently sitting in 3rd. We have Mordog in 4th, and Little Wing in 5th.
Yeah, Ramsett, Jeff P. Tetro was involved. Several drivers involved. Jeff P. Tetro, one of those guys who I believe comes over from the PlayStation side. One of those drivers who's moving over to the Xbox side to try their hand at qualifying for the Pro League. But the 6 of Wow, That's Garbage, he's a player typically at the front of these races, and he was involved in that wreck.
It's tough out here, and we're on board with Element in that 38. He is second in points, 5 points behind Mordog, who is currently leading. Mordog is way up there, and we are looking at Element right now. These guys obviously do not have the draft. He's going to have to work with the 3 to try to get up there, but man, it is going to be super tough. He's directly behind Blue Baka in the 18. That is Diamond out there, so these guys, all they can do is hang on to each other and try to do the best they can.
if you have a drafting partner, you can at least manage for the end of the stage and not lose a lap, but it's just no chance of winning the stage at all if you don't get a yellow. You're just kind of stuck where you are, so the best thing to do is just to ride and try to help each other. But very unfortunate break, especially this early in the stage.
Farrah Fawcett, you said it's good now. You just updated Twitch. All right, good stuff. We're on board with String right now, and this is such a long line. I keep saying it, but man, oh man, imagine doing this for 94 laps, guys. It just takes so much out of you. A lot of guys, you either love this type of racing or, you kind of hate it. I feel like there's no real in between.
Yeah, this is the part I was talking about in the pre-race. Is whenever you're all in a single file line, you're watching your fuel laps tick down. You're trying to figure that in your head to see what works the best for you. If you can get it down to where you only have to take one can or a half a can and make that a 2-tire stop. You're watching your tire wear to make sure that's all right. Your temperatures to make sure your grill's okay, or if your grill tape's okay. If you need to do a little work on that. It's just, and that whole time you're working the throttle, working either your pedal or your trigger, trying to stay off that person in front of you, and you're watching the mirror, trying to make sure that person behind you isn't running you over. It's so stressful whenever you're trying to do this. It's a lot more difficult than you think than it looks. It's a lot more difficult than it is exciting. I'll say that.
Absolutely. We're going to bring about Extra Life once again. Last week we had Michael Levine, Red, and Dano in the booth. It was so much fun. We were trying to help them raise money for Extra Life, which the money goes towards the hospitals to treat sick or injured children. It goes straight to them, so any little bit amount of money helps. So if you can, please donate. And also check out Roundabout Pro. On Twitch. They are pretty amazing. They're so much fun to hang with. All of them get on there and you can watch each one of them play. So it's really cool to do that. But if you can donate, it goes until the very end of December. We're almost there. So close to 5,000. And it's just great of Michael to do that and allow us to continue to try to help him. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, it's an awesome cause, and it's really cool to be a part of that in any capacity, but getting to just broadcast these races and be a part of that's really cool.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at the top 5 once again. We still have Delta. He's still leading this thing, looking pretty good out there. We have Ramsett in 2nd, Doc in 3rd. We have More Dog in 4th, and Little Wing in 5th. We have the 34 of Sturlu. We haven't heard a lot from him, but he is up there and he is looking pretty good. A lot of these fast guys, J-Mac, and it's so tight for the racing. They're catching up to, looks like, Garbage up there, who was involved in an earlier accident. Yeah.
That's what I was about to say. That's going to be an unfortunate break for now for Garbage. As long as he can stay, as long as no one else gets lapped, then he can manage. He can be that lucky dog position. But right now, the 47 popping out to give him just a little bit of draft, and then making it 3 wide there. But I think he'll just be able to hold on to the end of this pack here and then just ride and hope no one else falls a lap down.
Absolutely. We're coming up to 15 to go on the stage here. I have a feeling that these guys are going to see a pit stop soon. We're going to see who goes in and who comes out the leader, but it's going to be pretty tight, and that's another issue. Pit stop. It can be so damaging to these guys. We didn't see that for the last stage because they had a caution, so they were able to go in. But you're going to see if a lot of these guys go in together, some of them may get speeding penalties because, you know, if they get a bump from the guy behind them that aren't fully slowed down, it can absolutely destroy your race. If you get that speeding penalty, you're looking at a 30-second stop. So that can definitely destroy your race. So these guys are really going to have to communicate together and make sure that they have a clean entry.
And you're also trying to get as much speed as you can because you want to stay with this front pack. You don't want a 16-point-something second pit stop to kill your race. So you try to make a little bit more time. You try to get a little more on entry, try to figure out where your mark is. Maybe go just a little bit further back in, further deeper in maybe do a little engine braking with the shifting, and that can you can get just a little too much. That happened in our shake and bake race to me. I tried to dive in a little deeper. I was trying to make up a little bit of distance on element, running second, and I killed it on the pit road and ended up finishing 8th. So that's just what happens. You try to get a little too much, and these drivers, aka drivers, have a tendency to be pretty aggressive at times, and so pit stops can be pretty exciting here.
You're absolutely right, and we're going to see how they handle it, how it affects the race, and where they come out, because you're going to see a lot of people be in different positions here, and it's really going to separate these guys. You're going to see different packs coming out once they come off of pit road. Some guys may take a different strategy. We already have Delta Rocket going on to pit road. He might be the only taker. He might be solo, guys, and that is going to be really bad for these guys if they go in solo and come out. You may not catch up to the guys coming in, so we're going to see how Delta fares.
Yeah, you have to get lucky that some of these guys who maybe have saved a little bit more fuel than he has, that he can pop out off of pit road, latch on to some of them as the field comes back around, and he can get some speed from the draft that way, and it'll cycle out to where he's in a good position. But that's the issue with leading the line. You get the worst fuel mileage. And so that's the price he pays for looking really good out there.
Absolutely. We have a couple more takers for pit road, and you can already see they're bouncing off of each other a little bit here. Looks like only one taker. I'm a little surprised, but Mordog, he's going to come out, and man, look at these guys getting very, very tight together. We have Mordog on the bottom. We have the 41 of Doc on that high side. These guys too wide. Little Wing is just all over Mordog, and I guarantee a lot of guys are going to be coming in this time around. We have some traffic up ahead, and that's going to get very interesting. These guys are too wide already. He's got really nowhere to go. That is Delta Rocket, who went in the very first car there.
Yeah, you have two options. You either stay on the bottom and ask those guys to go up around you, or you stay up in the top and let those guys go beneath you. So, but either way, you got to pick, and you got to stick with it. Both are manageable, but now we've got some drivers starting to come to pit road. Was getting a little worried there because 2x2x2x2 is not the best formation to make it to pit road, but it looks like
got a little hit there too on entry. I don't know if he's going to get a speeding penalty from that, but very, very close. I'm hearing over the radio that somebody. Yeah.
No,
you see a little lag. We're going to see if we can't catch up to Delta Rocket. He was your leader before going in. He is attached to Proboss at the moment in that 00. At least he's got some help. He's got a lot of people behind him, so he looks like he's okay. Proboss going in, and Delta is once again by himself as that entire pack went into pit.
Everybody being very conservative there on the pit road, except maybe the 8. Tom maybe got a little bit of got some people there, but for the most part, everybody very, very safely on the pit road out of that group. We're gonna have to see how this all cycles out, and here's where it starts to get interesting because everyone starts coming out in little clusters. And
absolutely,
if a cluster that gets out is really fast, they might be able to gap the field and make this a 3, 4, 5 car race. So it'll be interesting to see here how everything shakes out.
Mordog is pretty well by himself. I mean, he's got 2 cars behind him. He's got 1 in front of him. Those 2 cars behind him are eventually going to catch up to him. But we're going to find out how these guys come out. You see a lot of cars that just went in. They are now entering the track once again. But man, oh man, it's really going to change things up for these guys.
Expert Toaster out there up front. He's your leader. It looks like right now he's going to be able to pass all these guys, but Mordog is going to settle in right behind this group, and I believe that pack is going to catch Toaster really quickly. Then comes what happens once you get to him. Do you go high? Do you stay in line to pass him? Or when some of these guys go high to make the pass, do you stay low to kind of snooker those guys and gain some spots? So a lot of decisions to be made here in the coming laps as they try to run down the leader.
Absolutely. And, you know, if he makes a last
second
second
move... Or they could all
move,
race each other.
if he makes the last second move, it could be very bad for these guys. We'll see what happens, but he is moving up the track, letting these guys go by. 6 of garbage. He goes safely on by. 2 by 2, these guys are all moving. He is just hoping to catch on the tail end of this pack. They get on by safely.
Yeah, that's the valiant move. That's not the move I would have made. I would have made these guys try to go around me. If they wanted to get racing, well, I'm gonna have
making
that
them work
bottom
for it.
line, and that's exactly what I would have done. But the 10 cars, the expert's probably a better man than I am. I guess that's the that's what I've learned here. Is Expert Toaster is a better man than I am. But
all right, and I'm hearing over the radio that the 8 car is the leader. Garbage, he was a lap down, so he has not gained that back yet. So let's take a look at the 8. Let's catch up to him real quick.
He is currently your last car on the lead lap. He is the very tail. He is as far back as you can be without being a lap down. Except, well, I guess that's technically incorrect. He could be about 99.9% of a car further back, and he would still be on the lead lap. But tomato, tomato.
Very interesting to how that works out, though. 8 coming up here, getting up into first. He is pushing Garbage, who is almost a lap down. We have Pro Boss directly behind him in that 00. You have Mordog currently sitting in third. These guys in a nice little pack here. Let's see if we can see anyone behind him. I do not see anyone for a long bit away, so we have a second pack back there that is trying to catch up, but I mean, they're okay. They're doing good. They're all the way up here already, so we have a second line forming. We're going to see if they can make anything work with that. I'm just seeing Garbage lag on my screen. It's making me so nervous, J-Mac.
Yeah, Big John had a run right at the end of the straightaway, took it to the outside going into 3, and then that run immediately died.
Yeah.
So
all you
he's
can
gonna
do
have to
is
pop back
tuck
in line
back
and
in.
work at that. Yeah.
5 to go for this stage 2. If it's anything like last stage, you know, it started to go too wide at the finish. They just did not make the move in time to make it work. But it got a little crazy from second on back. We're going to see what these guys can do, but this is it. I mean, this is where I would get pretty risky with the moves. You can't lose too many positions, so if you want to try to do it, absolutely do it. You may be able to make it stick. We're going to see what they can do, though, as we're, you know, only a couple of laps left here. So we have Garbage out there. Tom Tom is actually leading the race, so he is in first, but it's pretty close.
You have to wonder if maybe there might be some of these drivers saving like a lap or a half a lap. Maybe they got real aggressive with their strategy here. Less fuel in the car means the faster you can drive. So you might go, if you can save a lap and make it on a half a can or whatever, then they might have gone with that, and they might be running a little bit easier here. So you have to wonder what all these different drivers are dealing with, what their strategies are. We can't see that, sadly. It'd be really cool if we could, but right now everyone seems pretty content to ride right here behind that 8 car. Well, I guess the 6 car, but gonna see who makes a move here, who starts to get aggressive.
I'm back here riding with Doc, and he just got a little nudge to the outside by Delta Rocket in that 99, but we have 3 of them. We have Delta, we have Doc, and we have Element. They're in a pack of 3. They have a couple of cars ahead of them. They're really going to have to work together to catch up to those guys, and they can try to make up some time, but man, it is looking pretty lonely out here for these guys. This is not what they want to see. They're really going to have to make it up starting on stage 3 once they bunch back up together.
Right now, stage 2, that's going to be settled by 7 drivers here. That 9 car of String really holding back some of these guys. I don't know if he's trying to gin up a run, or if he's just trying to keep his distance, maybe saving some fuel, or if he's having an issue of some sort. Maybe turned up the grill tape and it's running hot, but here he comes back. He's pulling back up to this front pack. So false alarm there as far as anything being wrong. Just might have been testing to see what kind of a run he could get for that final lap.
All right, guys in chat, who do you think is going to win this race. We have J-Mac who says Moordog. I don't even know. It could still be anyone's race. Moordog is an absolutely fantastic pick for this. TomTom is a great pick. We have Pro Boss out there. We have Garbage who is hanging on. So we're coming up to the white flag for the second stage here. So it's going to be so close. Let me know who you think is going to win this race.
Interesting to see who makes a move here, who's going to pop out, who's getting that run. That 9 car way too far back. He's going to have the run, but he's going to get to them right in the middle or even at the end of the straightaway, which is not a great time to be there. Moordog throws a little bit of a block, but the right now the 8 car of TomTom just riding behind that 6. He's got someone to draft with. He doesn't have to make a move. That's what throws a wrench into this whole thing. And I think that's kind of got all these guys, pretty much everyone else has their arms tied behind their back with the 8 car having draft help.
And we got TomTom. He is winning the stage for stage 2. Good job on his end. Garbage pretty much pulled him for that, and like you said, he was pretty well safe for that. He didn't really have to do a lot to do anything for that one.
Yeah, it looked like the 00 finished second of Pro Boss. He kind of he saw the writing on the wall there. He got the maximum points he probably could have gotten, and the 5 tried to do something. I think he might have gotten up to 3rd. I'm not 100% sure. I think he was 4th or 5th in line there and at least got a spot out of the deal, but that's pretty much what you're gonna see. That's the difference in theories there. The 00 a little more conservative, a little more
he's more patient with it.
He's more patient, while the 5 very, very aggressive, tries to take what he can get whenever he sees it, and 2 different schools of thought that got him good finishes in this stage.
Absolutely. Now, what you guys know from stage 1 and 2 is going to completely change for stage 3. You're going to see a lot of battling, at least I think we'll see a lot of battling for position towards the end of the race here. But I know, J-Mac, wasn't it the last time that we were at a super speedway, they still possibly stayed in a single file line even for the finish. No one wanted to wreck and lose any points or positions, so we're going to find out. It can go either way, but I think it's going to get a little crazy.
Honestly, I think this, at least until the first pit cycle, I think a lot of these guys are going to try to position themselves to minimize, if not their pit stops, then what they have to take on their pit stops. So I think there's going to be a lot of strategy played here. I think I would imagine a lot of these drivers are going to try to save fuel, try to get in the line, try to be conservative. This top line is doing a much better job this time around. Kind of makes me wonder if that bottom line already either they're backing off to let their friends into line, or they're already trying to maximize their fuel for this run.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. We have String in the 9. He's looking pretty good. Currently sitting in 4th. We have the 47 of Big John sitting in 3rd. Moordog in 2nd. And I do believe that is TomTom sitting in 1st. Let me take a look here.
Yep, that lime green number 8 Chevy is TomTom Flitty. It's always good to see an RCR car up front. And that's what TomTom is running in this week and every week in AKA, but he's doing a fantastic job out there to steal one of your lines, and he's leading this field.
He sure is, and it is a long line once again out here as these guys were brought back together. But we're in the final part of the stage. This is going to be the final chance to make some moves. This stage is it. This is the final part of the race, so if you're going to make something happen, you got to do it now. You got to make sure that you hang on to the draft. You can see what a long line. If you lose the draft, I mean, your race is essentially over, unless you see a caution, which I'm hoping that we don't, because I want to see this race out. I want to see the strategies come into play. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, Delta Rocket just helped push the 47 of Big John and the 9 of String up to the lead, and then immediately got ditched. Now the 47 car, he's popped out of line. That looked like he meant to. So he just made a very aggressive move to take the lead, and then made a very conservative move to give it up. I don't really know what the school of thought was there. Maybe he got aggressive, trying to race, trying to have some fun, and then realized, oh, I might need to save a little something here. So he's popping back into the line at the very, very back of this field, and now we're gonna have to see as everyone starts moving their chess pieces around. Who's playing the best game of chess? Who's moving that knight into the right spot, and who has their pawns in the right position and whatnot. And this is a terrible metaphor, but I'm not gonna quit on it.
He's just going with it. Just go with it, J-Mac. I mean, it's so true, though, because there's so many different strategies coming into play. I mean, you never know. It could be somebody in the back that we don't even think possibly can do anything like that to make a win happen. It could be them that come out and make this happen. It just depends, and the strategy is everything for super speedways. Position is fantastic, and you definitely need it. But if we have guys saving out there, you know they're not running out in front if they can help it. They may have given up a couple of spots. It's hard to run in the front and save, and you can just see these guys bunching up. So I'm thinking, J-Mac, that we got a little bit of saving going on here.
I would imagine so. You have to. It's just kind of the nature of this racing. It almost punishes you at this point in the race for trying to race hard. So that's one of that's part of the hate part of it. You know, you hate it. It's very exciting. Everybody's on top of each other. You get to race pretty much everybody in the field at some point of the race, and you can have a lot of fun with it. But the moment you're not thinking about strategy, the moment you're not thinking about making it to the end, about maximizing your position, maximizing your fuel, minimizing your pit stops, minimizing your pit stop times, the moment you stop thinking about that is the moment someone else passes you in that department. So you just got to keep your head in the game.
Yeah, and imagine trying to hold a steady line, worrying about the guy in front of you, the guy behind you, and also you're going through checking your tires. You're checking how many laps of fuel you have left. You're doing all the strategy stuff that J-Mac was just talking about. And you're also trying to concentrate on your line and all the pressures around you. So it can be so intense. And some of these guys have another race right after this. So it's just crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, you're trying to watch not just the person in front of you, you're trying to watch the person 4, 5, 6 cars in front of you to see what their momentum's doing, if they're checking off, if they're backing off that guy in front of them, and then you're looking in your mirror to make sure that person behind you is off of you. If you can maybe brake check them a little bit, if they're pushing on you, you can slow them down a little bit yourself. It's very taxing on the mind racing at these places when it gets to this point of the race.
30 to go as we cross the line. We have String, who's currently in the lead in that Mountain Dew number 9. We have Tom Flitty, who is currently sitting in second. We're on board with Tom, and you can just see right here how stressful it is. This really shows you what it's like. I mean, the draft just pulls your car up and down the track. There's going to be movement with the car ahead of you. If he's going up and down, it's dragging you with him. Then let's take a look behind him. You got to worry about the guy behind you. If you're leaving a space on the low side underneath because you're getting dragged up, guess what? More than likely, the guy behind you is going to take that spot and boot you out of the way. You're going back to the back part of the field there. It is no fun. So it's just so many different things that you have to worry about. Like String, man, he's going up just a little high right there, making me a little nervous. But these guys so far, they look like they're just chill, trying to let things roll, trying to get to that first pit stop for stage 3. Just trying to survive out there.
I really thought you were going to say you're going to go back, Jack, and I was very disappointed when it didn't end that way.
It didn't happen.
But you're entirely right. It's just everybody's on top of each other now, and you just go up just a half a lane, and that person behind you is like, oh, that looks nice, and they try to make the 9 taking the most defensive line you can take by going below the yellow line and off the track.
I'm telling
that got
you.
very interesting. He might have gotten a little bit loose, or that can happen to you. That's something that's very easy to happen. Is you can have your input into the wheel. If you're going through, you make it to the exit of the corner, and then it just starts to kind of come down on you. it's like it starts to corner more as you get further into the corner, and sometimes these corners you can find yourself popping down a little bit lower. That's also something I find myself doing sort of defensively, because I don't like to run right against that yellow line, because it's very easy to hit that yellow line, and that hurts you more than anything. But I just imagine whoever is behind me is trying to sneak under me and trying to take that little bit of a hole that I'm leaving. And so as you get to that straightaway, it's kind of natural to just hook it to the left as hard as you can to get to that yellow line. And sometimes you go a little bit too far with it, and you either straddle that line or you go completely beneath it.
It's true. And if you get on that apron too much, you're spinning your car around. And look at Tom Flitty. He's on the outside. Doesn't have much help. He is just falling back as these guys are passing him up. Not a fun place to be, but man, oh man, you can just see how it can really affect your race. While we're doing this, we're on board with Big John in that 47. It's just such a long line. It is so long. We do have a pit stop that should be coming up soon, but I gotta talk about Extra Life once again. Like I said before, we had Michael Levine in the booth with us along with Dano and Red. So much fun. But if you can donate, please go ahead, and it makes such a difference to these children that really need it. It goes towards the hospitals, all of it, to help these children who are sick and injured. It gives them the tools that they need to be able to help them when maybe their parents could not pay for it, or just for the hospitals in general to supply what they need to. So it is such a great gift to give if you can do so. It'll be open until I think the very end of December, but they are almost at their $5,000 goal. So if you can, I know Michael would be so appreciative, along with everyone at the Roundabout production. They're really an awesome group of guys. And yeah, if you can, go ahead and do that. $25 to go. I think I heard that right over the air here. But man, it just, these guys, if I'm not mistaken, J-Mac, everyone still has draft. I mean, there's a little bit of a separation in a couple of packs here. But from what I'm gathering, it looks like everyone is still pretty much together.
Yeah, I don't think this little group of three is that excited about the amount of draft they have, but the 21, the 2, and the 18 kind of falling off the back here. And as we say that, the 21 hitting pit road of AKA Little Wing. He's coming to pit road to get his first stop in, but we saw the 8 of Tom pop out of line, and you have to wonder if either A, he got the apron, which we were talking about that being something that can happen, or if maybe he popped out of line because he wasn't getting the fuel number that he wanted, and he wanted to get back in the line. So again, you just have to constantly be mindful of the strategy and how you can put yourself in front of everyone else as far as that's concerned. It's almost more important than the track position is in this place.
It's true. We're going to see a lot of guys coming in, and here we go. We have Delta coming in. We have the 00 of Probos. He is coming in, and looks like 2 of the takers.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, there was a...
If he got down to pit road speed, I would be very, very, very excited for him, because that was either a really over-aggressive pit road entry or an excellent one. I'm not sure which. We'll see where he pops off a pit road.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. But there was a lot of takers, about 6 cars that went on to pit road. We'll see where they come out, but a couple of the leaders were amongst them. Moordog is currently out here leading. You see Garbage back there. He was once upon a time a lap down. In second, we have the 18, and I do believe that should be Diamond. He's a newer racer to AKA, but he is making his name known out there for the Xbox side here, doing a great job. Look at this traffic as they are coming onto the track here. A couple of guys going a little early. Moordog has to slide up high to make sure he doesn't hit anyone. He just sees the tail end of Probos. Those guys are trying to merge, but they miss the front pack. String looks like he is the one that got out there the fastest, so a great pit stop for String out there in the 9. We have more
and here
takers.
comes this group of leaders right here.
Yeah, we have more dog,
Ooh,
the 47
19
of
into
Big
the back
John.
of the
Look at these
18.
guys. 4 wide, 5 wide, going into pit road. Man, that's crazy, J-Mac. Do we have any speeding penalties for this one? I mean, they all look to be going pretty much the same speed, but we're going to find out.
The only driver that it looked like might have been possibly speeding would have been that 19 of Tack. I will look at that at the 43 of Skibowski. He was speeding because he's all by himself. So that pit road entry was just a little bit too hot.
We're currently on board with the 9 car. He is completely by himself, and I'll tell you what, we've seen it all night. Once you go onto pit road, it really separates you from the rest of the crowd here. We may have 3 or 4 people come out. You see a couple of packs that have 3 cars, but a lot of times these guys are coming out completely solo, and that is exactly what you don't want to have happen. I love to work out with a couple of guys. Hey, what are we taking when we go in? What can we do? Sometimes we might just let half the pack go in on one lap, and we'll put the other pack in to pit road on the next lap, and we'll all meet up together again. It works out pretty well. We have the 3, from what I'm hearing over the radio, that is Blue Baka. He missed pit road. He is out of gas, so he's got to go back in, and that is going to be terrible for his race tonight. I hate to see it, because he is another guy who's pretty fast at the super speedways here, so that is definitely going to hurt his chances here tonight. But Pro Boss, look at this momentum he has with Expert Toaster behind him, pushing him. Incredible speed for these two.
And I'm kind of curious how that 5 car of Mordog got out as far as he did, because whenever he got to pit road, he was pretty even with everyone around him, it felt like. I don't think this would be a time where you would take only partial fuel. I feel like there should be at least a little. I don't know. That's unless he saved enough there in that stage to be able to only take right side tires, but no one else did it with him. So everyone else coming up behind him now, I'm pretty sure has 4 fresh tires and is on at the very least equal footing, if not better footing than him as far as tires go. So that might have backfired just a little bit, but that did mean that nothing could have taken him out of that lead group. So there's definitely a plus to it. It ensured that he would be in this front pack fighting for the win. That second pack is really far back. They have a lot of numbers, and they should be able to make their way up through the field. But an interesting gamble by that 5 car to just take right sides there, if that's what he did, and I'm assuming based on the gap that's what he did.
I mean, both these packs have 5 cars in them. So pretty much what we're going to see, who is the fastest out there and who can hold the line together the best. You got to make sure that you have the line very snug in order to keep the guys behind them off of them. It's going to be very close. We have 18 to go, so we are going to see one more pit stop for these guys. We're going to see how it situates out for these guys. It's going to be super close, but Mordog hanging off just a little bit, but they really do have a nice, tight, clean line going. We have Dohar out there in Boy Nana. What's up, guys? Hope you're enjoying the race so far. It's coming down to the wire. I know J-Mac says he thinks Mordog is going to win it, and I am curious who you guys think is going to win it. We do currently have, it looks like Tom Tom out there in the lead. I want to see if I can see who that is out front, but I do believe that is Tom Tom. Yes, it is.
Yeah, just looking at that gap that the 5 car is keeping on that front pack, he seems to be in max fuel save mode, max conservative racing right now. And I don't think anyone in this front 4 is going to not run in a single file line here, because they want to keep that second pack behind them. That second pack is coming. They have the exact same numbers. There's only 4 really pushing in this front pack, but that's still going to be a really, really tough gap to make up. That 00 is a very fast super speedway car. Should maybe be able to pull this group up, and if they get just a whiff of the 5 cars draft, then that's it. And this is going to be a 10-car race to the finish here. But right now, that I don't know. I think I'm starting to like where that 5 is. I'm still not 100% sold on it yet.
I think it's going to come down to the wire. And J-Mac, I don't know. I wish I had the distance between these guys. And if the second pack is catching up to the first, but man, oh man, they are doing their best to try to catch up to them. That line is looking really solid out there. We have Probos, we have Toaster, we have Wonder out there, we have String out there, and I'm trying to get
String.
Yeah, and then we
That
also
Element
have
is in the
Element.
38.
Yeah, so
that's
fast guys.
That's 5 very good super speedway car builders out there in that line. So this should be a pretty formidable group of 5. That if there are 5 drivers that could catch that lead pack, I think all 5 of these would probably be somewhere around your short list. So I think they can get it done, but right now they got a hill to climb.
They do have a hill to climb, but it is definitely doable. They need to see the front pack, though. They really need to see them start saving more or start getting jumbled up a little bit more. But right now, they're doing a pretty good job. You see 2 cars kind of hanging off, the 4th and 5th place of 18 of Diamond and also Moordog. And I think that's just saving. And Dohar, he's calling it same as you. Moordog will save the gas. I mean, he's really good at it. Dohar's the same way if he was racing that. You know that he'd be saving that gas.
You do, and these cars that they're coming up on is probably the best thing that could happen for this front group if they latch onto them. They get a little bit of that draft. They're able to make their way forward. Right now, they're getting a little sketchy up there.
Yeah, that actually
a little
hurt
tighter
them.
than it needed to be. But you would think that would help them. That should have helped them. Now they have more numbers. They had draft, and instead that got really, really dicey when it kind of didn't need to, and that's going to bring this second pack into the equation, I think.
We're going to find out. We had the first 2 up together, but man, oh man, these guys behind him, we have 3 wide. Moordog is trying to find his way through the pack here, but man, it is getting so close. They really need to form that single file line and get moving, but look who's right behind him, J-Mac. I think that game is over.
Yeah, that second pack has now caught him.
Absolutely.
The second pack has now caught him. But the good thing is the second pack is they're in full drive mode. They're going as hard as they can to get as fast as they can. So if the 5 car can make it, and I think I'm becoming increasingly more confident that he can, that pretty much takes this group of 5 out of the equation. He doesn't have to worry about them. Now, if he can't make it, it's his front pack that now has to worry about it, because these are drivers that are going to try to make a move here as we get down to the end of this race.
I'm already getting nervous. I'm on the edge of my seat. We have Wonders falling back just a little bit. He's got a couple of guys passing him, but huge pack ahead. We're coming up on 12 to go. So we're going to see who pits, who doesn't, who's saving, who's not. We're going to eventually get ourselves a winner at the end of this. This is just crazy. I'm getting so nervous. We're on board with Taddier Prawn right now, and he is directly behind Moordog. And this pack just grew like crazy. It was once upon a time a 5-car pack, and it looks like it's at least 10 cars at this point.
It is, and you have to feel for TomTom right now. He's been leading so much of this race. He's been in that position you want to be in. Everyone behind you, clean sailing out in front in your windshield. You can just run your line and not worry about what's going on behind you. And meanwhile, his that rear end's getting really, really light as the fuel burns away. And so, God, that's the unfortunate thing. But as we hear, pit stops are coming here pretty quickly. And this is where all the strategy games come into play.
We're gonna find out who goes in this time around. I think we're gonna see a couple of laps. We're gonna see some cars go in, but that is 10 to go. This race is getting over pretty quickly here. We have a car going underneath the apron to let everyone know I'm going in. As long as he can make a clean entry, he should be good to go. From what I'm hearing over the radio, there's a lot of guys planning on going in, so it is going to get pretty crowded very quickly on pit road. TomTom dives it down. He is getting out onto pit road. Look at all those cars. It looks like a car might have hit the inside wall. I'm trying to get back there.
That's TomTom. He got hit by the 37, which I believe was a Latz car that was in with that group. He got a little bit sideswiped by him, and that caused a not a massive wreck, but a one-car wreck that has massive implications on this race.
Yeah, it's such
but that's
a shame
what we're talking
for
about.
TomTom.
It was
yeah.
Everyone that, like we were saying earlier, coming onto pit road, so difficult. And also, here's that group of 5 that was trying to run this group down, and your race leader that had to come into pit, that were getting the worst fuel mileage.
Yeah, here they come. We're going to see if any are takers. They're going straight past here. So, Mordog, I'm curious if how long he is going to stay out. Can he do it? These guys are coming up on traffic as they are exiting pit road. These guys are going to have to go high as they are entering the track. We have the 14 of Wonder. They are making their way by. There's TomTom in that 8 who, man, oh man, after that hit, hit the inside wall. That pretty much ends his chance for a win tonight.
Yeah, that's a huge blow. He was just coming onto pit road, and it looked like nothing he did. It just everything kind of accordioned together, and he got hit in the side, and it spun him around. Everybody's so light when they're getting onto the brakes trying to get to pit road.
3 more takers for pit road. Mordog stays out. He's got the help of Expert Toaster, but who knows how long. These 2 are pretty well together. They have 2 more cars ahead of them. This is crazy, J-Mac.
Yeah, this is where it gets really hard to save. You have to kind of, if he's trying to make this without stopping, here you have to use everyone you're drafting with, and then you kind of have to use other people. Like, you have to start managing it, especially if you're a little short. You have to cut off a little more throttle. Maybe you just kind of move from person to person, group to group as you draft and kind of fall back through the field. It's going to be very interesting how he plays this, but he's coming to pit road. So that is completely out the window now.
I'm trying to find my way back there.
He was getting on a pit road really hard. He was getting on a pit road really hard. Gonna be interesting to see if he comes out and quick enough. But that was either a very, very aggressive, very well done entry, or like we saw with the 43 of Skibowski earlier, that might have been something that completely takes him out of this race.
I'm curious how that's going to work out.
And I'm seeing in a chat, I'm seeing that is indeed a black flag, that he just got a speeding penalty.
No! So many different things happening to our leaders tonight, J-Mac. What is going on? And it's all pit road related. We got to find out who our new leader is out here. We have Delta Rocket. We're on board with him. We have the 18 of Diamond on the outside. These guys, instead of working together, they're going side by side. Very interesting. We have MDL, who is completely... he's in a pack of about 4 cars right now. This is right craziness.
Now, it seems that the 19 of TAC, the 47 of Big John, and the 18 of whoever that is in that custom car, trying to get a name here, but I believe that's your top 3 right now.
We'll try to get some confirmation on that. The 19 is the leader. So you're looking at your top 3 right here. They have not gone onto pit road just yet. We have the 47 of Big John in the center of this.
No, they have been to pit road. These
they have been to pit road. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
The 19. These 3 have been to pit road. This is right now your battle for the race as things wind down.
J-Mac, there is no one behind them. This changes everything. We have whole new leaders here, and this is absolutely crazy. I'm looking at the 18, and he is Rocky Top.
That is Rocky Top. They're coming up here on the 88, the Ghost of Dohar. He's moving up high to let these guys go, and they're going to go around. I wonder if he's going to latch onto him here. If they do, that'll only help them with the draft.
4 to go as we hit the line there, so it is coming down to the wire. I want to try to get onto the 19. He is our leader, so let's see if we can find him on here. TAC 24. Man, can you imagine? This guy's going to be so pumped if we can get him a win here tonight.
And earlier, I was watching the 19 on one of his pit road entries. I was worried that he might have been speeding. He got a great launch into pit road. A great job of braking. Obviously, he's not gotten a penalty, so that's somewhere that he's been making up a lot of time. And obviously, this is something that these other two drivers, they had the strategy, and they've done a good job of getting onto pit road. And they've probably gotten a little bit lucky with the pit stop times, their stop times. But as things have worked out, these three have put themselves in the best position to win this race. And here we go. It's just so tough to try to win a 1 or a 2 on one when there's only
really
3 cars, especially if you're in third. There's nothing really you can do. You either push someone to the win or you make an ineffectual move. So Big John kind of not in the greatest spot as far as winning the races, but you also have to wonder if that 88's going to go with anybody.
I know, and we're hitting 2 to go, but look who is behind them and quickly gaining in. This changes everything once again. I mean, you have an entire crew directly behind them, and they are catching them
and they are
fast.
Getting into their draft. And the 88 has dropped off so far. They're going to be getting his draft. That's going to work out perfectly for this second group. We're about to have a crazy finish here.
I bet you TAC definitely disagrees. That is gonna. He's like, this is not gonna work out perfectly. He is not wanting to see this, and these guys are on the move. Big John trying to do a block, but man, oh man, they hit into the wall, come back down. There's a guy on the inside wall, a guy on the outside. These guys are flinging all over the place. Looks like J-Mac.
That's going to be a yellow.
That's going to be a caution.
So we're going to get, after all of this, we're going to get a green white checkered to the finish. Oh boy. Yeah, the 40, the 00 had such a crazy run. The 47 tried to throw a block. Maybe the speed difference there, just that's a really tough one. You want to be aggressive there, but that's just plate racing, man. It's really tough.
This changes everything, and I've said that so many times tonight, but it really does. So we're gonna have a shootout here, trying to figure out if who can get the win here. It's just, man, what do you even do for strategy? What would you do, J-Mac? Are you taking tires? What are you doing?
I mean, if I'm out, it depends on my fuel situation. If I have to come in, then I'm definitely going to try to get some rights, because they will actually be a little bit quicker and a little better for you. But it depends, because a lot of these guys, I'm sure, made this as tight as possible on fuel. So if you had to come in, then you might stick a little rubber on there. But otherwise, you're staying out and keeping that track position.
We have TAC 24. He is your current leader out there. We have 47 of Big John directly behind him. We have String behind him, and on the high side, we have the 38 of Element. Directly behind, these guys are getting 3 wide. Everyone is just bashing each other as they are 3 wide, trying to hold it steady, but man, oh man, they're like ping pong balls out there.
In the old game, that would have been a massive wreck. That would have been a giant one, but these guys able to hold on to it. But everything's very aggressive. No one helping anyone anymore. No one letting anyone into line. Everyone trying to force their way as the 9 and the 8 of Tom Tom working their way to the outside.
These guys going 2 wide for the lead. The inside line has the momentum, but the high side is really gaining on him. String to the lead.
Yeah,
this is the white flag, guys. We have 8 in second place. Let's see if we can get the camera on these guys.
An incredibly strong move by String and Tom. Tom got down in front of him, but wasn't able to stay in front of the 19. He got stuck in the outside line. Now that 47 has moved up there. Big wreck in the back, it looked like, but nothing happened. No yellow.
This is crazy. String is still out front. We have Little Wing in second. It looks like Garbage in third. Came back from being a lap down.
Garbage, who was a lap down at one point.
He's gonna go ahead and looks like he's gonna take over second. Look at this. We have String as the winner for Talladega, Garbage in second, Tom Tom in third. What a crazy finish.
Because Moordog, Tack, and the 41 of Doc were 3 wide across the line, but that was an absolutely pretty bonkers run there. Just a great move ginned up by the 9 of String, and then the 8 of Tom Tom. He was in every position, it seemed like, there in the final 2 laps, and somehow still managed to end up third. But Garbage, like we said at one point, he was the tail end of the lead lap, and he managed to somehow pull out a second place finish. So imagine if they would have gotten another green white checkered.
I think this will be the first win of the season for String out here. We've had Garbage win twice. Came so close tonight after being a lap down. So great job to him. Tom Tom in third. And String bringing out his first win of the season. So congratulations to him. Once we get back to the lobby, we're going to go ahead and get these guys in the party here. So many changes to what people thought. Just crazy how it works out like that. Where'd Garbage go? All these guys keep moving around. All right, and then we need to get Tom Tom. Take a look at those times, guys. I mean, just absolutely incredible. All right, we're waiting for these guys to get on in here. Garbage. Man, crazy comeback there. That was insane.
I couldn't believe it.
All right, String, congratulations on the win here. Crazy ending. How was your race tonight?
Stressful. Stressful. Hey.
Take us through.
I'm so glad to finally get that monkey off my back. You have no idea how long I've wanted to win a race in AKA that actually meant something.
And you did it tonight. Man, what a crazy race. With the way stage 1 and 2 were going, did you think you're going to be able to pull it off? I mean, it was getting pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, it got really crazy. I knew once I got to the front, we tried to make the high line work a lot during stage 1, and it just didn't have enough people to make it happen. But I knew once I finally got to the front, had Tom Tom behind me, I knew I'd be okay. I knew I had help at that point. That seemed to be the name of the game, is just who was behind you, who you could trust. And when I got the lead and led those 10, 12 laps there in stage 3 or 2, whichever one it was, I thought my chances of winning was pretty good, but it all come down to that last pit stop and having help, and then that caution really helped.
Absolutely. You did a great job, your first one of the season, so a huge congratulations to you. You did a really great job. You're probably not even thinking about next week, and I gotta find out where we are headed to next week. Let's see. We're going to Eldora, so it's the complete opposite of this. So I'm gonna ask you what I asked earlier. Is Talladega an easier track, or is it harder? And how does it compare to Eldora with that?
Oh gosh. Talladega's not easy by no means.
No.
I mean, you hold the gas down and you go, but you're like tonight, you're fighting 23 other people, and you got to rely on people to check up for you and, not chop your nose off or something. But no, when it comes to the dirt side of things, I have no idea. I don't know what to expect from Eldora. I don't know that I've ran Eldora on this game yet, to be honest with you. I don't think that I have. But so I will definitely have to put a lot of work in between now and next Sunday night.
Well, for now, enjoy your win at Talladega. You did a heck of a job out there. Secured a win. It's really going to help you out in the points there, but great job. That's really exciting for you. I'm excited. Yeah, first win out there, so congratulations, String.
Thank you so much.
All right, J-Mac, let's get second place. Garbage out there, absolutely crazy.
All right, I'm here with Wow, That's Garbage. Got involved in a little bit of a dust-up. It ended up, at one point, you're leading the field, but you're the tail-end car on the lead lap while doing it. What did it take to work your way back to the field there and end up having a shot at winning this thing?
Oh, man, at one point I thought it was over. You guys seen it. We was at the back leading the field, almost a lap down, just struggling to stay there. But thankfully we caught the late race caution and played a little patience, played a little aggression, and made it on through. I knew once we had me, String, and Tom together, they're a pretty good group, but we've been working a lot together, and we were all going to be pretty safe there towards the end. So.
How crazy was that green-white checkered finish? It looks pretty wild on our end.
Oh, I know, right? I don't know. I can't believe we made it through, to be fair. I think that topped the Pro League. That was, 16th to 2nd or something? So it was 15 spots or so. That was yeah, I don't even know. I haven't been able to make moves like that all night tonight, so I really don't know where that came from. Just people getting, all checked up and flustered and out of line trying to make moves themselves, and you just take advantage of their mistakes.
Well, an excellent job of bouncing back from adversity there, and well done on the second place finish.
Thank you, buddy. We'll see you again.
All right, we got Tom Tom, who rounded out the podium tonight. I'll tell you what, Tom Tom, it made me a little nervous. You had such a great car tonight once again, but you had that incident going onto pit road. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
I don't know who it was, but mark my words. No, I'm just kidding. That's just tough getting on pit road. And,
it is.
It's really, really tough.
You are, you're cutting out there, Tom Tom.
Lost him.
We lost Tom Tom. Oh, he's
Not
connecting.
the cough drops. No.
Oh no. The cough drop got him. He's connecting. He had an incredible race. I'm going to say it. He had that incident going onto pit road, got a little hit. We saw him coming off of the wall onto pit road. I think I said right there, that ends his night for a chance for the win. He managed to come back and take home third. So what an incredible night for him to do that. And I feel like this is one of those guys, and I say that about a couple of guys, where he has just really increased his speed over the season, and he's gotten so fast out there. So I'm excited to see what he can do for the rest of the season. Next week, though, you guys heard it. We're going to Eldora. I mean, you can't get any more opposite than what we just did tonight. You're at Talladega, where you can go 3-4 wide, very wide track, a 2-miler, and then we're going to Eldora, dirt track. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be crazy. How many wrecks do you think we're going to see, J-Mac?
At Eldora? I don't know. Everyone's going. I don't know. I think we'll be all right there. That's a place where you kind of have to drive the track. Have to maintain your car. You have to hold on to your car a little better. But you got to pretty much just drive the track, and racing everyone else is kind of secondary. So I imagine it should be a pretty clean race, especially since everyone's going to be going lower speed. A little bit of contact ain't going to hurt you too much, and in some cases it's even a little bit advised. So a little dirt tracking. So I don't know. I think it'll be a fun race.
I agree with you. It's going to be a fantastic race. And if there's any race that you can view, if you could only view one, this is the one that I would say you got to tune in for. So same time, same day, 8:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time next Sunday. It's going to be crazy. We're going to the dirt. So tune in, and thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I don't have a way to look at donations. So if you donated tonight, thank you. It really means a lot to Michael Levine and all the guys at Roundabout Productions. They do such a great job and are great out there. It really does. It goes straight to the children for the hospitals to be able to help them, for any children who are sick or injured. It just really means a lot to them. So thank you for that. Thank you for tuning in tonight for the follows. You guys are amazing, and I hope to see you guys next Sunday. That was crazy. Streak, I'm excited for you. Really?